Hey guys, we're here at the Marucci Midwest Club. We've got Randy Merriman with us. He was formerly with the Midwest Nationals, and we're talking the merger here into the Marucci Midwest from 3 different clubs, and you brought the Midwest Nationals into this merger. So tell us a little bit how that happened.
Yeah, I started the Midwest Nationals in 2001, so I'm kind of the old guy in the group. When I started,
But you don't have no gray hair yet, bro.
Not yet. When I started, there was only 3 clubs in the area, so it was us, it was the St. Louis Prospects, and it was Kansas City Sluggers. That was the only travel baseball in the state. So we've been doing it for a long time, and we had a good bit of success, but I kind of felt like as things have been progressing in the area, there was a little bit of fracturedness, different little pop-up clubs, and some of the good players were getting dispersed and not getting taught the way maybe I thought that the game needs to be taught. And so kind of put our heads together with some of the other clubs and said, do you think we can pull off a merger? And we were the only people that thought we could. Nobody else thought we could. And then, we worked on it for, probably 18 months on the idea before we, got everything tightened up. But we're really excited about how it's going right now.
So is it, you still have the Founders Club and all that still part of this, or is that something different now?
No, it started to be the Founders Club, which is a Marucci thing.
Right.
And then Marucci kind of changed it. So that's when we were the Founders Club for about 6 weeks. And then we became Marucci Midwest, which the opportunity to use Marucci in our name is huge. If you can use a national brand across your chest, that's something we couldn't pass up. So although we kind of, took the 3 clubs together and said we were going to be the Founders Club, when we had the opportunity to put Marucci across our chest, we couldn't pass that up.
Yeah. So you guys starting out here, this is the first year of the club or second?
First year.
First year. So what are you seeing in the future? Are you still kind of finding your way? How's that working? How's that moving?
We're still finding our way, but we've had a fall season under our belt. We have winter training going on, and I really think it's going better than expected. I think that the guys that are in charge of our collective group are doing a good job, and it's really about player development for us. And so if we can just kind of keep the singular focus on player development, I think it's going to go well.
Very good, very good. Randy?
Thank you
very much.
Yep.
Hey guys, we're here at Marucci Midwest with Ray and Alex Kelly. You guys formerly were Missouri Titans, correct?
Correct.
And you merged into this scenario with the Midwest Nationals, 417. Talk a little bit about that. How'd that come about?
Yeah, so it was 2 years ago, we were going through tryouts. And there's a lot of teams in the area now, so there's a lot of friction. There's a lot of changing hands of players, and I was just tired of it. And I made a phone call to Randy. He was an old contact of mine. I've known Randy for a long time, and I was like, "Hey, I've got a vision. What do you think about this?"
Now, who's Randy? Who?
Randy Merriman.
Randy Merriman. Oh, Randy.
Yeah,
yes,
Randy
okay.
from the Midwest Nats. I called him. I was like, "Hey, this is what's going on. I'm sure you're feeling it too. What about this?" And we talked for a long time, and over a course of a year went by just shooting that around, and it finally kind of worked out. Here we are now. So
wow. Alex?
It took some time. I remember he told me about it, and I was like, that's a long shot, because nobody thought about, that ever even being a possibility. You got 417, which was big, the Nats, which had been around much longer than us. And we were kind of the new guys on the block from team's perspective. We had a training facility that had been around for longer than our teams, but it just kind of...
The Nats had training too.
Yeah.
So there was a lot we blended together. A lot of egos had to be checked and stuff like that. So.
That's the tough one, isn't it?
Yes.
So, when you guys are looking at this, and you made mention, there's all the plucking and the picking and back and forth. How do you think this kind of helped that situation? What was your thought process to that?
This allows us to do what we want to do. It allows us to focus on player development. It allows us to run a business that doesn't have to really worry about that so much. We're stable, we're solid, we're cohesive now in both what we do in the training center, on the field, with our coaches, with our field directors, our ideology. It's streamlined a lot of things, and I hope that the parents and the players can feel that as well this season. I mean, it's our first year, so I'm really hoping that shows itself. So it's felt like that on our end.
And Alex, we were kind of in here got a chance to look at your coaches meeting and stuff. I thought it was interesting what you said about ideology. And you speak to that. I heard him talking about verbiage and how the coaches are saying the same thing. How important is that?
It's huge. I mean, I think it's everything. We're putting guys that are baseball guys out there to coach their kids, and we're not just, putting dads out there trying to, play daddy ball, so to speak. So they're expecting for us to all be on the same page, and that's what we're trying to do. And Coach Mosley, our youth director, does a great job of getting the troops all on the same page. And so I'm excited for this spring. Assuming we get to play, I'm excited to see what our guys can do.
Yeah, everybody's kind of hoping that. I think that's the most difficult thing, right? We're all coming off that season that was just crazy. And you guys, what's your expectation? You think it's going to go ahead, or do you think there's going to be any craziness this year?
We're going to play.
I think we'll play. I mean, we even with last summer, we managed to squeeze out 40 to 50 games through it all, through the chaos. So I'm hoping now that we'll have a full year, and it might not be picture perfect, but I think we're going to be able to pull it off. I mean, people want it. I know that. People want to play.
I agree. So you got to tell me, Victus. What is Victus?
So Victus, the best way I can explain it, it's like the Jordan to Nike. So Marucci's brand, they have created a brand called Victus. It's kind of their more higher end profile brand. And so when we were, blessed to have use Marucci in our name, so we started with Founders Club and then did the switch.
Right.
We thought it was a good idea to have our scout, our highest traveling teams called Victus, and still the Marucci Midwest, and then there's Victus Midwest teams, which is our they travel more basically. So it's just another way to use the Marucci, the brand that they already have, just use it in our advantage. So it's pretty cool that the guys buy into it a lot, and of course, there's plenty of gear out there that they can wear. That's pretty cool. They love that.
So I'll get you out of here on this, guys. You got to tell me, future. What does the future hold for Marucci Midwest?
Big future. There's a really high ceiling there. My personal hope is that the future means that this area has a great baseball program for these kids to be able to play in. That's my hope.
Yeah, and softball. I think we're just tip of the iceberg for baseball and softball. Just this region, you got the best facility around, and I think the baseball minds in this room, we can do something special. I think it's just getting started. So
outstanding, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're out here on the training floor. We're in the middle of practice. We have Jim Cooney.
Yes, sir.
The pitching instructor, pitching coordinator.
Yeah, youth pitching coordinator, director.
Youth pitching coordinator.
Organization.
What do we got going on here, Jim? What's the movement of everything here?
We kind of almost call it kind of like a spring training. It's an organizational type of practice where all the teams are together for the certain age groups, because we have 3 to 4 teams at some age groups, and then all our coaches are all together working different stations, try to rotate our coaches in and out of different stations, because they're all going to be a head coach of a youth team. So they need to not know if they're a pitching guy with a pitching background. They need to know some hitting stuff and how we like to do it as an organization, and then put their spin on it and how they understand it and teach it themselves when they're by themselves this summer.
So, as the youth pitching coordinator, you work with all the youth coaches, talking to them about practice plans, how you approach pitching, what do you pitch counts, all of that type of thing?
Yeah, I tried to. With this being so new, this merger, I was with the Nats last year, and so with the Nats last year, tried to hit as many of our youth games midweek and on the weekends when I could. I also have a 9-year-old in our system too, so get to see his games, of course. But with this new, larger group, we got a lot more coaches. Yes, we basically have a players, coaches manual type thing. Each player gets one, coaches get some, and we kind of try to help the coach along and I'm going to try to hit as many games / practices as I can in addition to my own. And that way our message is being spread the right way, and as coaches everyone's one cohesive unit we're trying to achieve here, instead of just kind of doing their own thing and we don't know what's going on. Because we're trying to ultimately produce a youth player that then is a successful high school player, and have a kid that stays with baseball, as opposed to a lot of kids that leave baseball because it gets too hard or for other reasons. So that's kind of our focus at the youth level, is to really put together the best kid we can in the 5 years we have him, if we have him at 9 years old up to 14, and hand him over to high school guys that can hopefully not have to reinvent the wheel with them.
Right. And, one of the things I've seen, and listening to all the coaches, listening to the coordinators, is the language. Having the same language is really important, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yeah, kind of almost like in when you get to college and play in college, they have different stuff, and then they're kind of retraining everybody. Yes, we're not going to teach them the same language that they're going to learn in college, per se, or at their high school. But if they start with us at 9, or even our coach's age when they're younger, and they finish with us at 18, hopefully then, like we just said, when we're going from a youth to a high school market now, or a high school team, which is a lot less hands-on compared to our youth type stuff, because they're older kids. Hopefully we've handed them some where we have nomenclature and terms and ways we approach the game the same, where they can focus on their skills and their games.
Very good. Very good. Jim, thanks, man.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Pleasure. Hey, we're here with Brandon Mosley. We're out in the middle of practice. It's going on here at Marucci Midwest Clubhouse. Brandon, thanks for having us out.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're the youth baseball director.
Correct.
So that means you're in charge of all this.
Yeah, we have a lot of good staff members, coaches. I would say I'm in charge of letting them do their job and really shine and flourish. And we got some great coaches. And so really I just kind of walk around and there's certain things we want implemented, some fundamental things. And the coaches are really taking it to the next level and getting those fundamentals across. So really my job's been easy. Coaching the coaches has been fun. We got a great group of guys, so I've enjoyed it.
So we got a little sneak peek at your coaches meeting earlier.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
you.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, and so and that was one of the things, and I've said that to some of the others, is the language. Being consistent in the language. That was a big part of that meeting. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so the verbiage is important to me. If they're a hitter, we want them learning a few things. Attack the ball from the inside with confidence. Looking to do damage, which means we don't want you making contact. We want you hitting the ball to drive in some runs. And we got a rhythm station and a he starts, I start station, all to get them in the right frame of mind to be able to hit and compete. We want our guys competing with confidence. And if they can take the verbiage is important to me, because if they understand the verbiage, they're going to start understanding it mentally. And if we're tougher than other teams mentally, we're going to have the confidence to go out and do it physically. So that's important stuff to me. Yeah, it means a lot to me. And that's why, I really stressed it in that coaches meeting that you were at. So I feel like we can't take the next step unless we can get this verbiage right.
So, and I see a lot of young guys around here, a lot of young coaches working with these kids. That's a challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, not for me. The young coaches have enthusiasm. They have the experience of playing at a high elite level at college. Most of the coaches nowadays, the young coaches, they played this youth travel ball. They're used to it. They've done it. They know what it takes. They know, hey, it's July. I'm 40 games in. It's 100 degrees outside. And I got to find a way to motivate these kids to get into championship bracket on Sunday. And so these young coaches, they're used to it. When I was young, we didn't have the travel ball. It wasn't a thing, and so these coaches at least understand it, and I think they can implement those things. And they've done a great job so far, a really good job.
So you're melding all these organizations together, right? How big a challenge has that been? How's it been bringing all that together?
At first, I think we had a couple challenges in terms of certain things were taught a certain way at another place, and then they were taught here at another place, and then how do we bring that together? And so I think at the beginning it was maybe a small challenge, but our owners are great. I know you interviewed a couple of them. Our owners have been great for me in terms of, hey, let's sit down in the office, let's talk through some things. Ray Kelly, who you interviewed earlier, he's big on iron sharpens iron. Let's get in there, let's sharpen each other up, and then that way we can come out here and do those things for the players. So it's been great. I can honestly tell you the last couple months since fall ball, since we went through some growing pains. Since fall ball, it taught us a few things, and we've been able to take what we learned in fall ball and fix those things we needed to fix. So it's been good. Yeah, I've enjoyed it a lot. So,
Coach?
Yeah, thank you. Hey, I appreciate you coming, okay?
Hey, we
Thank
appreciate
you so much.
you inviting us in. So
Yeah,
thank you very much.
anytime. Thank you so much.
All right.
Appreciate it.